3.23 is nigh, and with it, Master Modes will be here. Lately, the Star Citizen community has been on fire over Master Modes. So many people have been concerned because this is a fundamental change to one of the biggest parts of the game. Understandably so, there's been confusion and a lot of concern. So in this video, we're going to look at Yogi Klatt's response to the concerns of Master Modes, my speculations on what's coming for 3.23, and while the answer isn't going to exactly come from me, we will be covering the question that Beck's Video Productions left on a previous video of mine. Thank you for leaving the comment. It was partially the inspiration for this video. Editing Bear here. I want to make a comment and say that this video is not meant at all to be a slight or an attack against CIG. Everything I say here I feel is factual and honest, not only to what others have said, but to my own experiences as well. Let's try to remember to be civil, and if you have critiques, to try to be constructive with them. In the end, we all want the same thing, an amazing, fun game that we all can enjoy together. I have been playing 3.23 since Wave 1 released on the 10th of April. While there's always going to be issues and bugs, 3.23 brought with it two major issues. One being stability of the servers, and two, the input lag / desync problem. Over the many patches, they have resolved the stability issue, at least from what I've experienced. However, the desync issue is still prevalent within the 3.23 patch to this day. For example, my friends and I were on the EPTU and we were doing a bunker. We were trying to use grenade launchers and hand grenades to test. At first, everything seemed to be going well. Things were responsive, grenade launchers and the NPCs acted accordingly. However, due to desync, I had died to one of 7's thrown hand grenades. The problem seems to be that with the replication layer, we're not getting the same information between all the characters. We're not even sure if that hand grenade was from when he first entered the bunker or at the very end when he threw it at that enemy, even though we assume it was at the end with that enemy. And for another example, I was EVAing outside of an MSR at Microtech. I was awaiting my friend's arrival. On their screen, they were approaching the MSR from the rear. However, as you see from my footage, they were approaching it from the side. So do I think these issues are going to be resolved before 3.23 go live? No, I do not. During the Star Citizen Live on May 3rd, the developers had talked about the networking issue between the replication layer and the server layer. They have confirmed that this is still going to be an issue when this patch goes live. However, it is a necessary evil. For them to find these networking issues, they need more data, and that is something that they are only going to be able to get once it's live, and the EPTU is just not providing enough. Will this patch be as bad as 3.18? I don't think so, but I do think it's going to be rough at first. Here's my short and sweet answer. Master modes are just meh. When it comes to navigating around, I don't really see that big of a difference. There's a couple more buttons to push, there's some different sub-modes, but all in all, the flight changes are just not that big of a deal. When it comes to the combat though, that's where I'm just not that big of a fan of Master Modes. To really kind of lock in on the combat, my friends and I did Pirate Swarm under Master Modes in the EPTU. To be quite honest, we got pretty bored with the dogfighting awfully quickly. We were jousting, circling, just like we did before, but everything just felt kind of repressed, I guess, would be the best word to put it. As far as what to do with combat, we're going to discuss that just a little bit later in the video. Right now, I'd like to go on to Yogi Klatt's response that he put on Spectrum today. Yogi Klatt put out this detailed response to Master Modes today on Spectrum. I have provided the link down below in the description. Yogi does say that he's very happy with the progress of Master Modes in 3.23. However, he does admit that he's not happy with the overall state of master modes, as they did not hit all the markers that they were shooting for. Yogi wants to make it clear though that he hears the players, and he provides a list of some of the issues that they'd like to approach. Some of the highlights off this list: 1v1 dogfights are lacking, the ability to evade shots, the aiming system networking not performing well enough, specific ship tuning that feels out of whack, like with the Redeemer, the Saber, and others, and iterating with the speed walls and ship tuning in general. And much like the networking issue, the master modes needs more data, and that means it needs to go to live. The good news here is that the developers are well aware and are already admitting that master modes is not where they want it. I do PvP, but am I the person to give you the advice on combat? While I'm always willing to give my comments and critique, whether it's good or bad, I am not a professional when it comes to combat. And that is why I am linking Avenger 1's video that he released today in the cards. No matter if you love him or hate him, Avenger 1 is undoubtedly a professional when it comes to combat at Star Citizen. I think you would be remiss if you did not listen to what this professional has to say. 3.23 is coming, whether it's in a few days or in a week or two. Things are most likely going to be rough when it comes out. In the end, I'd rather it be rough now than rough in a year or two. And I do have faith that CIG is going to hammer out all the issues, just like they eventually did with 3.18. So for now, adventurers, that's where we're going to leave the news, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.